Okay, here's the engine. It's been sanded. Right here is my cylinder head. I ended up deciding on using a backing plate, and that's just for future builds. The JB weld takes time. I'm getting lazy. Hot metal, hot metal. Whew. Okay, let me show you what I got going on. This is the little metal bracket adapter plate I cut. Again, that is a 1/8 inch, and this is sheet metal, not aluminum. This right here is, you know, grade school style. Took this right here, put a piece of paper on it, and a crayon, transferred the outline of that to the paper, and I have another sheet of paper in the house. I did the same thing to this right here. Now what I'm about to do is I'm going to cut this. The arrow lets me know this is the orientation that this goes, but I'm going to cut this right here. Then I'm going to transfer it over here to mark out the 4 holes with a little bit of nail polish. Then I'm going to tap some M6 new drills in. See, I'm just gonna tap into those. I'm actually waiting on my drill bits. And this will go on like that. And when it's all said and done, all I gotta do now is trim the extra right there. Trim that here, make it more shapely to the form of the neck of the jug. I'm gonna do that with a Dremel. I'll do that on camera. After that, I'm gonna get some nylon wire brushes, scrub all this paint off, sandblast it, and get it all purty. And then we're gonna pick a paint. If y'all have any suggestions on the color on the paint, please let me know. So that's how it's gonna look. Those 2 little port slits, they're covered up on both sides. This particular head, it has a vent. You can put a bolt in there, that's what I do. Or you can just JB weld it completely up, depends on you. What I do looks more professional, putting the bolt. That way the individual who's working on it can adjust pressure, and it does make a difference on performance. I've played with a chainsaw like this before, and it was a bolt there, and that little pressure bolt did make a little difference on like starts and low end torque. But that's the motor so far. Right here, this is going to be the bike that is going on, a Del Rio, and we're gonna hook it up. We're gonna go to disc brakes. We're gonna go to tubeless tires, because I've rode before, got a flat, and it sucks having a tube and got to go somewhere that sells tubes. So when you go tubeless, you can go, you know, anywhere. I've used Gorilla Glue and duct tape, patched a hole at the dollar store, and it was good enough to get me home, you know. But yeah, so a little bit about this. I'm gonna go to hydraulic disc brakes. I'm gonna put a jack shaft kit and turn it into a 7-speed, probably a banana seat, the F2 thruster pipe for the motor, probably gonna put like a little dirt bike kick on it, street legal kit. So when it's all said and done, it's gonna be like a moped style. You can ride at night, have lights. You're gonna have active brake light, you know, like a car, you touch the brake and the lights come on. You know, it's gonna be really legit. But this is what we got going so far. So this is the crankshaft I'm using. It's actually the original. I plan on lightening it, and I'm also going to balance it. This is a AF80. This is, if I believe, the long rod that I'm going to use on this particular build. My next build I do, I'm going to use a short rod, the same style, you know, tweak on it a little bit. I'm actually waiting on a wrist pin here for my piston head. So here's a bike right here. He needs some work done to it, guys. He want me to hook it up. So we're gonna fix his pull start. We're gonna do a port and polish. We're gonna paint it. We're gonna do bolt matching. As you see, his chain rusted. We gonna make this thing, we're gonna bring it back to life, guys. We just doing motor work, that's it. We're not doing any actual bike work. You know, I'm gonna ask him if he want me to, you know, bring it back, make it look pristine. But as of now, the only request is motor work. So what I'm gonna probably do is the chain, the bolts, the clutch, this pull start is gonna get changed. I'm gonna paint the motor and the exhaust. We're gonna change the CDI because I don't like the hard plastic. I like the rubber. It actually, I feel like it holds better because that vibration, that's potential arc points for electrical. So I'm gonna swap that out. We're gonna fix his clutch up, or his carb. I might just do the whole bike for him, give him a good deal on it. Okay, here's the head. So what we're gonna do to this head, one, we're gonna get up in there and we're gonna polish it really good. We're gonna polish it real well. We're gonna sand the head or the ends. It's all dirty with paint. We're gonna go up in here. We're gonna polish that and see that little lip, the little jagged edges. There we go. Those little jagged edges on the perimeter, we're gonna get those, clean it. And then it's a cut off, like a 90-degree angle. We're gonna bevel it, make it more rounded. That helps with airflow. We're gonna do that the same here. We're gonna port and polish both ends. Some people, guys, they'll tell you to scratch up your intake side. That's cool and all. You know, they say it helps with atomization and stuff like that as far as your fuel. That's true, it kind of. You know, you don't want when your air coming in here, you want it to get into your motor as fast as possible, and you want it to get out as fast as possible. The atomization and everything actually happens in the venturi of your carburetor and on your smush band up top. There's like a little bit of play in your head where it goes up and you get some atomization that actually occurs there. When you make this all sandy and jagged, you actually cause a stall point or a bottleneck where the fuel will be coming through your intake as fast as possible, no resistance, you know, 10 miles an hour, for example. And then it gets here and it slows down to 8.5 because it's turbulence, you know. So just, you know, my 2 cents from my mechanic style. But enough jaw jacking, let's get on this sanding. The kit I use, it's basic Warrior 276 piece. This one, a smaller version of this kit. The only difference is this comes with some polishing compound. This didn't. That's the only difference, really. And this one has more attachments, of course. And this one was more focused on polishing. But anyways, when I do my grinding off the slag, I like to use sanding wheels or my sanding stones. I typically don't use my grinding burrs unless I really need to. But let's get it. Also, I like to do half speed. So I just wanted to show y'all, you can see what's happening. I got the slag off on the ends. Now I'm giving it a nice polish. Right now I'm using a 320 grit. Oh, that's even better. See how you can see the difference? And I'm gonna hit this by hand, the rest of it. Here's the other side, so you can see I haven't touched that yet. But you can definitely see how different it is. Alright guys, so you can see how clean that is. That's just with a brass wheel and by hand. And then at the very bottom, in those little areas right there in the corners, the dark spots right there and right there, I'm gonna get that by hand, and then I'm gonna come back and do this by hand with some actual polishing compound.